For a while, I had spent a good amount of time talking about a rock I could see out of the water. With time and discernment, I realized that the rock out of the water was, in fact, an iceberg. My path towards recovery from narcissistic abuse has allowed me to further understand the scope of narcissism. To see the iceberg, and not only the rock, out of the water. This is like understanding the causes of fever. To be able to eradicate its origins, instead of simply lowering the fever, the causes keep on running free, and causing further damage, for not being recognized and dealt with. If you're only interested about the observable rock, which is a flitting glimpse of the iceberg, it is a sign of denial and cognitive dissonance symptoms. This channel exists to examine the iceberg, or the scope of narcissism, in order for us to eradicate it for good. For those waking up to what narcissism really is, or being capable to see the iceberg, and not only the rock out of the water, you'll experience what at first may seem to be loneliness. This happens because you'll not be resonating with a crowd. Therefore, for a while, you'll experience being all by yourself. The reason for it is because you can now understand and see reality in a completely new paradigm, while the majority of people can't. Therefore, most people will label you and judge you skeptically because you're different than the norm. Your new discernment is not welcomed by people still choosing only to see and to talk about the rock, remaining oblivious to the iceberg. Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a good representation of this process. When you develop your discernment and you understand the scope of narcissism, you start to purge all the gaslight and manipulations created by narcissists that have affected your life. You become able to experience love, respect, and empathy because you are no longer codependent on someone else to provide you with love, respect, and empathy. In summary, you learn to be and trust yourself, thus distinguishing loneliness from solitude. You need time for yourself to heal from the abuse. Solitude is feeling comfortable being by oneself, in silence in the peace, and quiet of the moment. Solitude is a positive state. Solitude can help us get in touch with, or engage with, our true self. It allows us to reflect on ourselves, others, our life, and our future. Often, solitude is a springboard to greater self-awareness, greater creativity, fresh insights, and new growth. Solitude grounds us in who we are, and it enables us to reach out and give to others. Life is a process of finding yourself and living in contentment with what you find. You learn to be. This is the highest meaning of being true to yourself and not codependent on anyone else. The process of unfolding discernment and understanding the scope of narcissism requires you to punch through the cognitive dissonance barrier you'll encounter. Once you punch through it, you are totally connected to your being. The only thing you've lost is the awareness of your connection because of gaslight, manipulation, and deceit created by narcissists. Yet even today, if you start to understand the scope of narcissism and to discover who you really are, every moment will be the opposite of lonely. You will be absorbed in the essence of discernment, and nothing is more fascinating. Together we're bringing down demonic narcissists by exposing them with truth, discernment, and knowledge. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember, knowledge is freedom.